let's see. I am often accused of taking a macro perspective on things, so I'm going to go with that. I've done a lot of cross-national research. I think one of the biggest policy challenges that nations have right now is figuring out how to build flexible economies, which for me is not unlike learning how to build flexible companies. Of a particularly important imperative at this point in time, because we're in our post-industrial phase. We are in the U.S. and Canada and Great Britain and other European nations especially. We're in a place now where our economy is transitioning back towards a small business economy, and one challenge we face is that most of the people that we're growing up through our educational system, we're training them to work at big companies. And the trend is moving away from big companies, which means that we have to grow a more entrepreneurial population. This is a lot of what's driving entrepreneurship education at the college and university levels right now is, okay guys, if we're really going to position ourselves well as an economy, we need people who are flexible and can work in a small business environment, can work in a larger business environment, and more importantly, perhaps understand the nuances and the differences between operating here and there. And I think this is a huge challenge. I've again done some cross-national studies, so when you look at countries who are developing and just starting to pull these things together, they're not necessarily going to follow the same paths of development that the developed countries did to get where we are now. So the challenges for these countries is to figure out what their next 5 years, 10 years, 50 years is going to look like, and how to adjust their systems and resources for that. Never mind the challenges of political instability and war have on some of these economies. I think that is a clear challenge. Learning how to create an economy that's adaptable and can send employment towards large companies versus a small business type economy. This is an idea that's been slow in coming in business schools. This sort of true recognition that the issues that are faced, that are really attached to scale, are very different. So if you have a company with 10 employees, you have very different problems. You're managing different problems than you do if you have a company of 100,000 employees, right? And somewhere in there we can segment and partition and figure out what's unique or what's universal to each segment. But there are real differences, and you and I in this life are probably going to change jobs a lot, and we've got to be prepared for the next opportunity, and there's no telling quite what it's going to look like.